broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know.
There we go. All right, now we have audio. Hello, everybody. We are here today with our Overwatch 2 round 1 of the postseason here into the playoffs. We are going in a pretty interesting season so far. We've seen a pretty rough start and some pretty quick and big improvements in the team. So I'm really excited as we get into this. That's how far they're going to be. Looks like today we've got a Ryan May on one side here with the Torbjorn, which is going to be really great for taking this server room here. I think Iowa Central is kind of following suit with that, with a May and a Reaper too, which is going to be pretty good actually against their team. And we've got Cogs of War on the Doomfist, which could have some pretty nasty setups with the May. So we'll have to see. Biggest difference here is going to be, we'll have to see what is going to happen here going into this one. It looks like Doomfist applying pressure into the backside here. Iowa Central taking White Room here is going to give them a nice high ground advantage here. They're going to have these flank angles to come around the back, and we're going to see Cogs of War already shutting down the and the res too on the Torbjorn, which is going to be really good. He does get walled off, but he's got plenty of health here to work with, and he's got plenty of cooldowns to be able to get out. And Iowa Central is going to be taking this first round here, and walling off this Reinhardt could give them a pretty good stagger here. Even though Lucio's there, the Torbjorn trying to come up here, setting his turret down and trying kind of help them out there, but it's just going to stagger them even longer here. We're seeing Iowa Central already showing they are ready to take at least one W today. We're going to see the Hammond pick coming out here. They're going to be switching up a little bit to a dive. Does not look like he gets a ton of value out of that. He is up to 40% charge though, so we could see his mines come out pretty, and that could be a pretty big play coming up here. We're gonna see Cogs of War go down though. It looks like he maybe overplayed his hand there a little bit, and now would be a great time for Iowa Central to start backing out and kind of giving point there. They do have 40% on there. There's no reason really to stall it. We're still pretty early, and it does look like they're gonna get out. We do have Frog here with May, ult, and Koala with dropping the beat. Cogs of War and Swanky, their own ults. So pretty good mix of ults here going into this next fight. We're going to see if any of them are going to come into play. We're seeing a lot of damage coming out on Hammond. Beat is going to be dropped on Iowa Central side. That's going to give Cogs of War wiggle room here to come in and take out that Soldier 76. He's going to pop his ult as well. Going to see May pop her ult. And they are zoning out the backside of that ult pretty well, but Iowa Central didn't get caught out in it, and they waited it out, and they are taking this fight. We're seeing 30% here on Calhoun's side. And Iowa Central throwing out their own May ult. That's going to boom a pretty good stagger and let them actually capture that point there. Just 5% shy here of a tie. But it's going to be Iowa Central maintaining their lead. All right, and coming on into this next fight here, we are seeing these mines actually coming out from the Hammond. And that wall come up is actually going to be a pretty good tool of clearing it. I never would have actually thought to do that myself, so that is a pretty good idea there. We're seeing Swanky trying to keep Cogs of War alive here in the back line. We're seeing Hammond actually die, and Iowa Central's back line there. Looks like they were able to clean that up pretty good there. And with the May, of course, that is going to be tough to play Hammond into, so it does make a lot of sense. Ooh, and Mercy getting caught out here. Are we trying to get around that wall, but just cannot get through that doorway? The May slowing her down way too much there, and she's going to get taken down here. We got 80% here for Iowa Central. And it looks like they're creeping up to a win here. They've got a good push here on Calhoun's side, maybe, and that could get them out here. They looks like they tried to get Cogs of War trapped there. If he does manage to get ultimate out, waits out that wall, and goes ahead and chops it out. We've got two pretty big ults here from Calhoun. We're going to see if that wall with that visor is going to come out. We've also got the Moira ult's coming out. It looks like they are pressing everything. Even May ult is coming out. That's going to trap Iowa Central. No, that's Iowa Central's ultimate, actually. That is going to be pretty big there. That's actually going to be Iowa Central taking that fight and winning it. I think if Calhoun had their May ult there, I think it would have gone a lot better. And maybe they did, actually. I think May might have died mid-throw, it looks like. So that's very interesting. That's going to be Iowa Central taking this first round. So let's go ahead and see which map we are going to. I try to fix the non-existent scoreboard.
Ready for battle.
All right, there you go. There is that scoreboard fixed for you guys there. All right. And it looks like we're on Night Market, and Iowa Central, with their dive comp here, is going to be able to get to the point first here. They didn't actually go the Symmetra Lucio. It honestly was not necessary because the other team, Calhoun here, does not seem to be doing that. They are going to rotate behind here and try to capture the point, but it looks like Iowa Central has kind of split up Calhoun's team here. Ash is having a hard time with Doomfist there. It was pretty close, though. Doomfist actually almost went down to that. We're going to see Relexity actually getting that soldier in the back line as well. Now, that's going to be a 5v3, and the point is just now getting open. Calhoun is not looking good for this fight, though. We're going to see that Lucio come down really quickly there. Mercy is the next target here, it looks like, as everyone is firing on that Mercy, and they actually managed to take down Orisa first there. That's going to give Iowa Central first cap on this point, a little bit late on the after the activation, but it's a pretty big stagger, and it's good that they were able to cap that first. They definitely focused the fight where it needed to be focused first, separated out the teams, split them off, get some of that backline done, and then they just take a winning fight. It was actually really good on Iowa Central. We're going to see percentage climbing up to 20% here. Ultimates are about halfway across the board here, so we're going to see if any of them come up after this fight, or maybe if the fight goes on long enough towards the end. Got Doomfist just keeping them off the point here. He's playing it safe now. He's playing at this choke and just kind of punching them away from actually getting in the choke here. Orisa going to bully her way in there with a javelin spin. And we see Cogs of War Comp take his chance here in the backline with Rolexity. Something Wong also coming up, trying to wall something off here and get a pretty good stagger here, and it looks like that is going to pay off here. Mercy actually going to get caught off in the back line there along with Koala there. Lucio, that's going to be both supports down on Calhoun's side, and Iowa Central is actually going to push up a little bit into their spawn here. Now, they're not going to stay there a lot longer than necessary. They don't want to overstay their welcome. But it is a pretty good stall there. They're creeping up to 60% here, and they've got all 5 ults on their team, and we're seeing Calhoun with 3. So we're going to see a lot of ults probably popping out here. Cogs of War getting 2 picks here. Mercy, and it looks like Reaper is going to get 2 with his Death Blossom there. May did use the Blizzard, so it was good spacing out, but not a lot of value out of it. But Iowa Central was really smart about it. They didn't use all their ults at once. They still have some pretty big players going into this fight. Now, we could see Bob coming up here, it looks like, from the Ashe, which could be a big one. And, of course, they've got 3 other ultimates in their pocket. And it looks like they've swapped over to the Symmetra. However, they didn't set up that teleporter correctly there. They didn't, or at least did not to get onto the point, if that's what they're trying to do. We're going to see the Orisa ult come out, and it is countered out by Lucio's ult. It looks like the Lucio ult comes out on Calhoun's side now right after, but they weren't able to touch the point in time there. That wall actually shutting off the Mercy, who's Valk mode, still couldn't get to the point in time. Iowa Central is taking first round today. We'll watch this play of the game, and we're going to set up for round 2 right after. All right, we'll be right back.
I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
All right, and we are set up for round 2 here. It is going to be played on Eichenwald. Made a little bit of a swap around here. We took out Relexity and swapped in Shiro for this map. The main plan here is that they're going to be running Torbjorn. Shiro is probably the best Torbjorn on this out here. So we'll see how it goes on this map, though. I'm very interested to see. Iowa Central is going to be defending first. I'm not sure what the tank getup's going to be. Let's see him run Doomfist probably on defense here. But I think with that May Torbjorn, we're probably going to see something a little bit more close to like Reinhardt Sigma, probably Sigma, I had to guess, from Cogs of War here. We have Swanky Pants on Baptiste and Pokey on Mercy. On the other side here, we've got Reinhardt, Bastion, and Sojourn with the on a support, so a pretty solid sort of bunker brawly sort of comp. So the big thing about them is they're going to have to get past that choke. Once they get past the choke, it opens up their aim a bit more. That's going to really give them the in here. Iowa Central is playing actually a Roadhog coming in. And with that new Roadhog change, that should be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen here. But they're playing a pretty hard, like, catch them out comp, like, with this one. Roadhog pulling them into some traps here, May walling them off and just kind of trapping them out. And we're going to see Torbjorn already getting a nice little pick there on the Lucio. That's going to make it pretty hard for them to get in. We want that Lucio speed boost to really get us through that choke there. Of course, Roadhog being there with the traps and with the May wall, getting through that choke fast is going to be pretty hard there, especially if you run through and they manage to wall off half the team. That's going to make it a lot more difficult. We're going to see Reinhardt charging in here. The May wall's going to come up and block him off from the team. Looks like there's a small little bit of angle there that maybe his supports could have helped, but it's not going to happen there. He is going to get taken down. We're going to see a nice little hook as well. We see the Lucio getting picked off as well. Nice little bit of a stagger here. It's like 3 of their team is still up, though. They're not going to be pushing in too hard here. You've got Cogs going up there, getting quite a bit of damage there, getting the turret form out of that Bastion here. We're going to see the ultimate come out here from Sojourn. Not a ton of value coming out of it. Iowa Central did manage to clear out in time. That Bastion will come out. Shiro does manage to dodge that one. Got a little bit of a trouble here on Something Wong here, though. Ooh, and we're going to see Torbjorn popping his ultimate out there. Ooh, Cogs of War separating out. Oh, but unfortunately he gets slept. But he does still actually manage to get a pick from it. And Shiro also getting a pick with his ultimate. We do see Sojourn slip around behind them and get to the point there. Doesn't even manage to finish off the tick, though, with that new Reinhardt or Roadhog change with that primary. He does have a lot more effectiveness at range there. We do have 2 ultimates here on Iowa Central side. We've got the Blizzard and Window, which actually Window crazy with the new Roadhog primary fire. So I'm pretty curious to see how that one's going to go for them. Got that Rhine barrier looking pretty low. They're going to be trying to push in through this point here. It's looking like they're having a hard time getting that turret down, actually, which is very interesting. We're going to see finally Bastion does manage to get that turret down, but they're just not finding a good opportunity to get in here. We see Swanky take a pretty big fire strike there. And that wall coming out, it looks like Reinhardt looking for some kind of a pin into it. That Window is going to come out. We're seeing a little bit of a trade here on both sides. That Blizzard did manage to come out, though. And we're going to see Iowa Central cleaning up that fight. Roadhog is going to go in. Ooh, does get antied and slept, but I think that Immortality Field was a little bit clutch there, just keeping him in. And the May Wall to help him get back is a pretty big play there for Iowa Central. That could have gone worse to bad, but they played that one really well, though, despite actually making a little bit of a mistake with the overextend. Ooh, we are going to see, it looks like their tank goes down, and that is going to come out, so that's unfortunate. That came out a little bit late there. And it looks like, unfortunately, Mercy is going to be caught out by that Bastion. Wondering kind of what got her out there in the first place. But it looks like Iowa Central is kind of slowly winning that fight. That's very interesting. Cogs of War coming in on the Hammond here just to get their last second. We've got 30 seconds left, so why not just to get there fast? We'll have to see how this next fight's going to play out. It looks like we've got a couple of ultimates here on Calhoun's side, so they actually could make this push work. Let's see if this Reinhardt Shatter is going to be big or not. And the Nano Boost to boot on that Bastion could definitely give them the wiggle room they need to get into this choke. Bastion turret form there does manage to actually shoot down Shiro. Shiro is going to get res. That immortality field is coming up though. And we're going to see them kind of step onto the point there. Goes ahead and solo shatters on For Something Wong. We see Cogs of War getting onto the point. Shiro putting down his Molten Core there. That Reinhardt taking a ton of damage from it, and that's going to clear Calhoun off that point. A tick and a half is not bad progress to make. That's going to be the end of that round. We can see if Iowa Central can push into this point and take a tick and a half that they need. Not a very tall order, so it's not looking great for Calhoun going in next round here.
Initiating match.
I just now saw them. they were messaging me. I can't hear anything in Discord while I'm in streamer mode. I just saw they messaged me, I think during their pick phase, asking if they could play Roadhog. So it is past the 2-week ban period, so they should play Roadhog no problem. The rework I think happened that last week of regular season, and then we had the week of Thanksgiving break. So totally viable to play Roadhog. All right, and we're seeing on Iowa Central side here, we've got the Reinhardt and actually pretty good pick with that Echo there. Being able to get that verticality play on that bridge is going to be a really good way to actually make some plays here. We do see a Torbjorn and a Junkrat setup here, which again, that verticality is great to get around because Junkrat and Torbjorn are both really, really solid on defending this map. And together, it's even worse. But I think with the Echo, you might have a little bit of a better chance. And with a Mercy to puck you as well is really good. And of course, Swanky here on Ana should be able to keep grounded characters up pretty decently. Oh, we are going to see something. Wong getting a pretty fast pick there on Koala. We're going to see Shiro finishing off the Torbjorn, but it does look like our Reinhardt did go down, so it'd be pretty rough going into this fight without a tank, but it is 2v4. It looks like Shiro is actually going to kind of win this fight up a little bit here. All that's left is this Reinhardt, who is not looking great and does not have any supports. And there it is. It looks like Koala trying to touch there at the last second, but unfortunately not going to get there in time. And Iowa Central is going to take that win pretty decisively here. Watch this play of the game, and we'll be right back for round 3.
Satisfied, my weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and weakness comes and goes, it goes, it goes. My weakness echoes in my soul. Oh, it echoes in my soul. My weakness comes and goes, it goes, it goes.
All right, and we are back here again, this time with an escort map, Havana. Five Central will be starting defense again. And as you see from the score here, we are pretty close to taking the win for the first round here, best of 5 series. Well, we'll see how it turns out. It looks like we're going to have Shiro on the Widowmaker, which is a pretty nasty decision. We're going to have Meteor Machine on Dunkrat, Winky on Lucio, Pokecross on Mercy, and of course Cogs of War here. Going to be playing Reinhardt versus their own Reinhardt. Of course, they'll have the Bastion with the Hanzo, which is going to be great for those long angles there. And even at close range with that Bastion, you're going to have a lot of trouble against that. And very interesting having, I'm curious about the reasoning behind the Brigitte here. So that's a very interesting choice. But the Ana, of course, no qualms whatsoever. So we will see here. It looks like Iowa Central is going to be playing a pretty aggressive in their spawn sort of play here. That two coming around the right side. Oh, and I think they actually heard. We're going to see a double pin clank there. Sleep on the Reinhardt with that anti as well. This is not going as good as he thought. Shiro getting a pick, but unfortunately, Cogs of War there did not go the way he wanted it. We're going to see that Reinhardt shield kind of preventing Shiro from getting any decent shots off here. He's definitely going to have to mix up his angle, and that Reinhardt's definitely going to have to get a little bit closer here for him to really pop off. All right, and we're going to see him switching over to Winston here. Get back a little bit faster. Be diving into the back line. Throws his bubble down. Is trying to single out that Hanzo, which is going to give Shiro some openings here. Does not look like he is going to get any picks out of it. And Cogs of War does manage to get out. His sports are going to keep him up there. Lucio and Mercy kind of low healing output. Ooh, and we're going to see... Oh my goodness, and that Fire Strike taking out Shiro there. It looks like Cogs of War did manage to get their Sombra down. Unfortunately, that anti-heal is going to be pretty big for him. We're probably going to have to consider a swap over to the Kiriko if those anti-heals keep becoming a problem. Mini Machine getting pinned there, unfortunately, and Iowa Central is going to be breaking there. And it looks like we could see the Calhoun here capture their first point. All right, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of swaps here on Iowa Central's side. We are seeing some ultimates come up on Calhoun's side. Winning 2 team fights is definitely going to do that. So Iowa Central is going to have to be careful about that. Having swapped so many times in those first 2 fights is going to mean their ult tempo is going to be a little bit behind. All they have to do is play smart around ultimates. They can take this next team fight. As long as they can bait out the ultimates, they can take the team fight. They just have to deal with the fact that they're not going to have the ultimates. You have Mini Machine just about with tires, so that actually could make a little bit of a difference. And Lucio Beat could also play a big impact here. Ooh, we're going to see that Boop actually stop that charge. We see the Shatter come out, but it was bubbled by Cogs of War. Big play there. He does get anti, so he's forced back out, and we're seeing Dragons as well as the Nano come out. So that's a lot of ultimates on Calhoun's side. They kind of played ultimate dominoes there. Got Cogs of War with his supports still alive there. And it looks like they are doing their best to keep him alive. They're just constantly being pressured. Unfortunately, Pokey's going to go down. It looks like Swinky going to boop that Reinhardt away as well. Going to go ahead and drop Beat there just so Cogs of War can stay alive. They don't really want to stagger too much here. That point is getting awfully close to the finish here. Got Moira coming out instead of the Mercy, but it looks like Calhoun is going to capture that second point. All right, we've got 5 minutes on the clock here. Calhoun actually making some pretty steady progress on this one. And we've got the Junkrat tire coming out. Coming around the back there, does get the pick on the Hanzo. We do see that Kiriko coming out too from Swanky Pinch, which is a pretty solid option, as I called out just momentarily there. We're going to see Reinhardt go down. Cogs of War is going to be pressuring into that back line, pushing them off that point there. Ooh, and catching the Junkrat there is actually pretty good. You have Shiro on Bastion here, just about getting his ultimate. Got a couple here on Calhoun's side. Even Shatter is actually about to be up too. And with the Nano, that's 4 ultimates in the pockets of Calhoun here about mid-next fight. So could be seeing some big plays from them, but getting this point pushed all the way up to their spawn. We'll have to see if they can take advantage of it or not. Big anti coming out. We're going to see that Suzu pop into it. Unfortunately, though, Pokey is going to get pinned, and that Shatter is going to come down. That is kind of a wasted Zarya ult a little bit, but it is what it is, and it didn't get a whole lot off it, but that Junkrat tire is going to kind of close it up. We've still got Nano in the pocket there. They've made some pretty good uses of their ultimates. Unfortunately, I was Central a little bit behind in that aspect. Their ult tempo just not great because of they kind of flopped the first couple rounds here, and they don't know how to regain that tempo. It is very hard to focus on that sort of ult tempo when you're in game. Swapping a lot, you're like, oh, this isn't working, I'm going to swap. You're not really thinking a lot about it, but it's very important there. But we are going to see a good pick on the Ana there from the Rhino. Fortunately, Cogs of War is going to go down on Doomfist, and I hate to say it, but we may even see him swap off that again. Got that Junkrat coming up on the Bastion there, making it pretty tough for him to do much about it. We got Cogs of War coming back out here on the Doomfist. It looks like they have cleared enough of Calhoun to kind of get them out, though, kind of to get them off the point there. But like I predicted before, we're seeing push that point up to Iowa Central spawn just off of ultimates alone. Just shows you how powerful it is to be able to maintain that ult tempo. We do have Rush coming from Swanky here, and Pokey also about to get Coalescence, so we could see some pretty big plays from that too. Shiro going over to the Pharah, most likely to deal a little bit better with that Junkrat. The Junkrat coming up low ground here, going to be spamming into these chokeways, kind of preventing Iowa Central from playing much up to this choke here. But it looks like they're going to manage to get Calhoun to back off there. A quick pick on the Ana from Doomfist there is going to play a big part of that. And we're seeing him kind of get trapped in the room with Junkrat. A little bit scary situation there, but he didn't take too much damage from it. We're actually seeing that Reinhardt having taken a ton of damage there. And Swanky actually getting a nice little headshot there on the Junkrat is going to kind of finish out that fight there for Calhoun. They're going to back off a little bit. They've still got 2 minutes, so they got plenty of time. They're kind of building up ultimates, it looks like, and getting ready to fight with that. We do have Mini Machine with his Junkrat ult here coming up pretty soon. And Swanky PS Pokecrest still have theirs. We got, you could see a pretty big play with Tyre coming up here on the opposing team. So we'll just have to see what's going to happen. Dragon's going to come out and space them off of that point there, making room for that Junkrat Tyre to kind of pick up on one of those flanks. No, he's actually taking a longer angle around here. We're going to see Mini Machine's Junkrat Tyre coming out as well. Unfortunately, both him and the Junkrat Tyre are going to go down. We're going to see Rush come out onto that point, but at least the threat of the Junkrat Tyre is gone. That could be Central actually cleaning up this fight just off of that Rush alone. You see Doomfist actually putting a lot of damage in there on that Hanzo. Meteor Strike going to come out as well. Still just harassing that Hanzo. Finally, Hanzo going to go down, and they're going to finish that off with the Brigida going down. We do have Brig ultimate still, so it's something you have to be wary about. But we have Shiro ultimate, so actually big plays in the back line could happen with Shiro's ult. Kind of a sacrificial ult, though, because generally speaking, pop Pharah's ult, you get a couple of picks and die. As how that works, just kind of standing still there is bound to happen. We'll have to see what his positioning's like. Hopefully he can get something sneaky into their back line. That's definitely the goal. Or you can just completely tread the tank, but it's a little bit harder to do that when they have barriers. And we're going to see that come out in the back. Unfortunately, it looks like Frog was ready. Double headshots him, and he is out for that fight. We do see Cogs of War manage to get down their supports there. Ooh, and the Suzu on the Shatter there. Actually, pretty big play there. A little bit late on it. I would have liked to see that come out faster, but definitely has his heart in the right spot. It looks like Calhoun is kind of slowly winning this fight. We've got Shiro on the Tracer here, going to be trying to stall this point as much as possible, just anchoring that down, but it's going to be really tough with both the Brig and the Reinhardt. You got two melee characters there that can kind of just swing on you. Doomfist is going to come out and try to apply some pressure as well. Shiro somehow still alive in this fight. Got Swanky coming in as well. We could see this fight coming back. Mini Machine and Pokey also here. Shiro does manage to go down to the Ashe there. And Ashe also getting down Mini Machine. That's the DPS down. We've got two supports here and a tank. Trying to win this fight out, it's just going to be really tough there. It's not going to be super easy. And with Bob coming out, that could close our fight out here. Even Shiro on his masterful movement on the Tracer here is going to be pretty tough to avoid someone with aimbot. And that is going to be an overtime capture for Calhoun. Now, of course, the quick reminder here for what that means for a escort map. If you get the match into overtime and they manage to full capture, supposing that the other team actually manages to push the point the entire way as well, we will see a round 3 come up. And what will happen is the side that was in overtime will get +1 minute to their match, and the other side will also get +1 minute, regardless of if they were in overtime or not. So very, very possible for Iowa Central to still push this the entire way, have a better time, and give themselves an advantage in round 3. But that is going to be basically what they're shooting for. So they've kind of set themselves, shot themselves in the foot here as far as tempo goes, or what they have to do here to win. They definitely are going to have to work a lot harder for it. All right, and I think we're going to see them lock in a little bit here. No beams. We're seeing Cogs of War on the Doomfist, Shiro on the Soldier 76, which is always a solid option. Mini Machine pulling out the Bastion rather than the Junkrat. Swanky on the Kiriko, and Pokecross with Mercy, which is just a much better overall composition, in my opinion. I've seen a pretty strong composition here on Calhoun's side as well. Still with the Brigida. I'm still kind of questioning the Brigida. They stuck to it the entire time, but who am I to question it when they actually won the so? And it did do pretty good at the end there when they had the Tracer, I suppose. I suppose it's pretty good against this Doomfist as well, kind of just keeping him away from everyone, or being he dives in and you're able to just kind of smack him a bit, and you're still doing that healing, even if you're not doing a ton of damage. Plus, the Whale Whip is going to do pretty good at kind of preventing his engages and moving him away. Ooh, we're going to see Cogs of War taking a lot of damage there, even with his arms crossed over his chest there. Which normally is obviously the big damage reduction. We're going to see him just kind of go down really quickly there. He does get rezzed. We're going to see Bastion pushing in for some aggressive damage with that Mercy Pocket. Doomfist coming in to punch the Reinhardt away. Is going to get pinned. Luckily, it doesn't look like he hits that corner. Had to cancel that one. We're going to see Shiro actually getting a couple of picks here, and that Mercy trying to res getting picked off is going to be pretty big as well. Cogs of War gets the opportunity, comes in and manages to punch the Brigitte, and diving in on the Hanzo there, finishing that off. Shiro actually working together with Cogs really good here. We're seeing their damage. They're focusing the same targets here. That's actually really big. It's causing them to just shred single targets that they focus. It's definitely what you want. You want to pick them off one by one and win the fights. And we're seeing a lot of backline pressure here from Cogs of War. Mini Machine spraying out the damage as well. We're going to see a lot of trades here, but ultimately Iowa Central is going to be getting that first point. Got Soldier over here with C-Pocket is going to be pretty big there. And of course the res on Mini Machine sealed the deal. All right, we're seeing Cogs of War come out. We're seeing some ultimates on the board here. We're still waiting for quite a few of them, but Hanzo ult could definitely space out some plays for Calhoun, and we could see that Visor completely shut any kind of play off of it down. So it could go either way. We just have to see who's going to be able to get the value. It's all ultimately going to be down to positioning. Okay, Reinhardt coming into the back here, applying pressure on that Mercy. Gonna force them to back up just a little bit here. Reinhardt coming in with a pin, does manage to hit Cogs of War. Cogs of War at 90%, so we can see him popping ult pretty soon here. We also have Valk that can pop at any point. Ooh, but unfortunately that's gonna be Mercy going down in the back there. But Bastion trying to pop off ult there is gonna get focused down by Doomfist. It's gonna be pretty big. We're gonna see Dragons come up finally. Mini Machine is going to go down to the Dragons. Visor's coming out, and he is going to be cleaning up the back of the fight. Probably unnecessary, actually. They were winning that fight pretty hard, but we are going to see payload here on point for the entire duration. Maximum speed out of that push. And Mercy is going to be back. It's going to be a little bit slow for the Bastion to come back, but we're going to see Doomfist kind of stall them back there. And, of course, with your ultimate, that's going to be pretty big, but it looks like Reinhardt's going to kind of charge into him and stun him. That is going to be a very unfortunate play. The Doomfist going down. Iowa Central is definitely have to back out there. Going into this fight without a tank is probably not really an option. They do have Shatter, and they have both their supports coming up on Calhoun's side. Iowa Central a little bit low on the, but that could change pretty quickly. Mini Machine should have ult pretty soon, and Swinky's Rush should help with ult charge just a little bit. We're going to see Doomfist punching in here. Punching that Bastion away there. Bastion is going to go ahead and transform to turret. We're going to see Mini Machine popping his ultimate and Rush coming out as well, which could be a big play here. You see a lot of damage on that Reinhardt from the Bastion ult. And Mini Machine coming out with the Rush there is also going to be a lot of big damage there from his turret form. We're seeing Shatter come out as well, but not a ton of value. And we're seeing Doomfist, Cogs of War going to be pressuring their back line there. They do manage to get the Mercy down and the Reinhardt down, and that's the Iowa Central capturing fight. No, Soldier is actually going to jump down and sacrificial stall that point, but it's not going to matter. It is just a stall. And we're seeing Doomfist extend out a little bit, just trying to take as much ground as he can there. He has ultimate, so he's not really too scared, and that's going to be a pretty big stagger there. Iowa Central should be able to get quite a bit of space off of that play. 3 on point, of course, going to extend that as much as possible. They have 3.5 minutes here on the clock there. We'll have to see how close these fights are going to be once they get a little bit closer to the spawn, because as we saw, Iowa Central was able to hold that last point for nearly 5 minutes, and they got up into overtime there before Calhoun was even able to get that third point. We're going to see Torbjorn come out along with an Orisa here, probably trying to counteract Doomfist here, which is definitely a smart idea, and it looks like they have swapped over to Ana as well off of the Vita. Oh, and we're going to see him cleanse the anti and simultaneously dodge the sleep there just by using his ultimate. You see him take up the high ground there. We're going to hear Soldier 76 here is going to go ahead and Visor. He's got the blue beam on him as well, but it looks like Orisa is just managing to keep him away. Unfortunately, with Doomfist in the back line, Orisa's not getting much support there, and Marissa is just going to end up falling to that in the back line. Also going to get shredded just because they don't have the tank to help them out. And that's going to be Iowa Central pushing in here with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left to push, while the other team is going to have that 1 minute. And you saw the 2 minutes from 41 seconds go up to the 3 minutes, 41 seconds, because they actually adjusted that 1 minute cycle. It's a very, very interesting gameplay here. Actually, today this is probably one of the closer matches It looks like Iowa Central has a pretty strong lead. They've actually set themselves up for round 3 to have, or sorry, round 4, I guess, would be when they're going to actually push the cart. Because it looks like I think Iowa Central starts defense here, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, they should actually, no, they should start attack. I don't remember if it's lesser time. Lesser time starts. Okay, so lesser time starts attack. We're gonna see Calhoun starting out with attack, so they're gonna kind of set the tempo for Iowa Central here. But Iowa Central definitely has the advantage, unless the only way Calhoun really flips this advantage is if they get that point into overtime and they manage to push it like past like 2 points. Then it's gonna be a kind of a tall order for Iowa Central there with that 3, or even with the 3 minutes. Seconds, it kind of be a little bit of a tall order, but honestly, even that is not that far-fetched for them to achieve if they play like they did that last round. All right, we're seeing a pretty close to similar comp here, but we're seeing a pretty aggressive damage setup here on Calhoun's side. We're seeing that Sojourn and Ash, so they've got a lot of like long-range burst damage here. So be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen here. I don't know if that's really the play with Cogs of War. They are bringing back out the Brigida Reinhardt. So maybe that'll work out. I think with the Ana, I think they're thinking the Ana may just be enough, but we'll have to see. And we're going to see Doomfist coming in here, getting the stun, unfortunately, there. But it looks like his supports are actually keeping them up pretty decent here. Pokecross and Swanky doing a great job on the support. See Mini Machine taking quite a lot of damage. He's getting healed up pretty good here. Cogs of War going to get pinned away from the team. And that is going to be him going down, unfortunately. And that's just kind of what happens with Doomfist sometimes. Sometimes you feed on Doomfist, and there's not really much you can do about it. All right, we've only got 10 seconds. Iowa Central's done a pretty decent job at semi-stalling them here. And the big kicker here is going to be if they can off of this point here. That's a pretty good Suzu coming out there, but it's looking like it's going to be too much. Cogs of War is back here, though, so the only being down Mini Machine, they could still win this fight, especially with that pick on the Ash. And we're going to see Koala here go down as well with Butterfly even, and that's going to be both supports down. Reinhardt's going to have a tough time holding that one on his own, but a Shatter might do it. No! Kiriko actually coming in clutch here, did not get shattered with that ultimate, and that's going to be pretty big. Iowa Central actually stopping them before they even get that first point, and they got almost 4 minutes to get that far. This is kind of another really disadvantageous situation for Calhoun. It's not looking too good for them for this round. We'll see if it's something that they can manage to do. Like I said, that first round they did, it just managed to get really good ult tempo. We saw Iowa Central really fumble the ball here on this first point defense. We'll see if they're going to do that again, but I have a feeling they're taking it just a little bit more serious. All right, we're seeing Swanky actually switch back over to the Baptiste here, it looks like. And we're seeing a May Bastion actually on the other side here. Everything else is pretty run-of-the-mill of what we've seen them figure out so far. So we'll have to see. Which one's going to be advantage. Very interesting. I don't know if we saw them play May on Li Jing, so we'll see if that is going to be. We'll see how that's gonna do here against the Doomfist. It could be pretty good, walling off that Doomfist and all that, but honestly, with Soldier Bastion, you're gonna be able to shoot down those walls really fast. I'm not sure how big a play that is. We're still gonna try and wall off that main doorway there to try and install as much as possible. But this map, it doesn't have that much effect. There's kind of like a door to the left and to the right that you can take that are both pretty equidistant to the point there. Maywall's gonna come up, and it looks like Doomfist is going to have to back off and do some cover here. That's actually a pretty good point here. May's walls aren't really going to do much until they maybe get past the choke, but there's honestly just a lot of left and right escapability, a lot of like corridors down here. See Doomfist come into this back line here, gets a double punch there and 2 picks out of it as well. That's going to be a really big start to this fight as this point is rounding this corner. They're not that far away, only 20 or so meters left to go. And they're going to come in on this Ana, which is going to be a big stagger there. And I think 3 on point is going to probably get them here before the tank can even touch. They're going to play up a little bit here. There's no one actually on the point. We're seeing Calhoun come in. It looks like Iowa Central backing up and kind of giving a little bit of space so that they can actually take this fight a little bit better. They are going to get a pretty quick pick on the Mercy. It looks like Reinhardt bashing and actually fighting off the point here, but Shiro going to fight the rest of them with his visor on point. That's going to be pretty big. You're going to see May Ultimate come out, but that Suzu actually ultimately going to keep them there. As we get Iowa Central taking the W. So that is going to be our first round game for Iowa Central. I hope to see you guys here in another half hour. We should be seeing round 2 of playoffs getting played, so make sure you stick around for that. But yeah, no, it's been great watching, great having you guys, and I'm glad that you stuck around to watch this one if you did. I'll get to see you again here in a half an hour. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I hope to see you later. Have a good one.
I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high. Please fortify this strength of mine. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes. Weakness comes and goes, it goes, it goes. My weakness echoes in my soul. Oh, it echoes in my soul. My weakness comes and goes, it goes, it goes. so fast, all tied up like a captive.